Hi there, guys, and welcome to Media Theory Monday, our online session. So my plan is that every Monday we are going to be going through one of the theorists that we need to learn for the exam. If you're in the second year, we're going to be recapping some of this, and if you're in the first year, we're going to be looking at this for the first time. So this week we're going to be going through Steve Neale's genre theory. That's a picture of Steve Neale there, look at that chap. So he's responsible for the theory that we are going to be talking about. There's two main parts to his genre theory. The first part is repetition, and the second part is difference. So he says that genre theory, they're the two areas that we need to focus on, repetition and difference. Okay, and we're going to see that through many of the texts that we look at. So repetition. Genre is made up of repeated ingredients. These repeated elements are called codes and conventions. So this is all very basic stuff, genre codes and conventions. So these are kind of the ingredients that a particular genre would be made up by. So if you pause the presentation here and try and list many things that could be considered repeatable elements. So for instance, an example might be characters. Characters are a repeatable thing that you might see across a genre that are similar. So the characters in a horror film, for instance, are quite similar. Try and think of some of the other things that you might see. What other ingredients might you have that you could say are conventions of a genre? Okay, so you're back. Hopefully you got a little list together. They might include some of these things, so let's see what we've got. Some of the repeatable codes conventions could be storylines and narrative structures. The stories might be similar. The character types, that was one that I gave you, so if you write that down, that's a bit cheating. Joking. The next one, locations, so where things are set. If you think of horror films, they would be set in spooky places, possibly. Graveyards, castles, for the old-fashioned ones. What next? Mise en scène. So that's mise en scène means everything in frame. So that could include props, that might include lighting, that might include costumes, anything at all that you would see on the screen. Production techniques, how things are made. So types of camera movements, types of lighting, types of narration, production techniques, types of edits, special effects, anything like that would come under there. Set pieces. Now, a lot of people get this confused. People think that set pieces means something to do with location, like a set, like a TV set in a studio. That's not what it is. A set piece is an action film, an action scene, an action thing. A piece of action is a set piece. So, for instance, a convention from an action film that is a set piece might include fight scenes or gun fights or explosions or car chases. They're all set pieces. From a horror film, a set piece might be a fancy murder or a chase scene. Things like that. Repeatable sort of action sequences are set pieces. Cast and crew. So that might be a convention of the genre. You would see typical kind of stars of a typical genre, maybe the same. People who make it would repeat throughout different genres. So for instance, if you see a film with Jason Statham, you assume that to be probably an action film. It's very unlikely to be a romantic comedy. Watch, he'll probably do a romantic comedy now, make me look silly. The marketing might be similar throughout genres, so think about how they would use all this. The studios would use all of these factors to market the film to a particular audience. So this is one of the key phrases that we need to say. Products of the same genre are the same, but different. So that's it, they are the same. They're all very similar. If you think again of any horror films, Scream, Halloween, Friday the 13th, they're all quite similar. They have similar characters, similar locations, similar costumes, similar props, but they are all slightly different. And it's that slight difference that keeps them interesting. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the difference now. Genres evolve and change over time. This can be so producers are constantly either adhering or subverting audience expectation. So they're two words you need to get used to. Adhere is to stick to, or to subvert is to go against. So for instance, you could say a film like Scream adheres to horror conventions, the stalk and slash genre, but a film like Cabin in the Woods, if you've seen it, that subverts the genre. If you haven't seen those films, give them a watch because they're very, very good. Maybe another example would be a sitcom like Friends or Big Bang Theory that adheres to the conventional sitcom conventions, whereas a sitcom a bit like The Office that subverts certain expectations because it makes it look more like a documentary. That's basically what we're talking about. It's fairly easy to start with this week. We will be going into more depth. That was Steve Neale's genre theory. Steve Neale's genre theory. So again, when possible in the exam, in any essays, if you're talking about genre, if you're talking about codes and conventions, remember Steve Neale. This will come up very relevant in everything we study from the first year and also going into the second year, particularly with some of the television stuff we're looking at. So now what you need to do is you need to turn to the worksheet that is attached somewhere here. It should be entitled Remote Monday Steve Neale or something like that. It's the worksheet that's attached to this, and you need to complete the tasks on it, and we'll talk about it in class. Um, so, so yeah, look at the worksheet and work out those, and please complete the tasks. Next week we're going to look at a different theorist, and we're just going to do a theorist each week, and little tasks like this, and then talk about it in the classes. Hopefully, then it'll be an easy way for you to remember some of these names, and when it comes to the exams and the mock exams and stuff, you'll be able to rewatch these videos and remember who these people are. So that's Steve Neale. That's our first theorist, the genre theory. Fairly basic introduction. We'll be going through some more of this in class. I hope that's okay for you. Thanks a lot. Complete the attached task, and I will see you in class this week. Thanks.